Bad Habits and this month's Anime of the Month. That's cool, right? Alright guys, this month we are talking about Eminence and Shadow. It is a relatively new anime that is an isekai about a guy who wants to be the Eminence in Shadow. But what is an Eminence in Shadow? Well, let's take a trip and find out. So this whole anime starts out with a relatively normal kid named Sid Kagano. He's basically your everyday background character. Or is he? This background character thought it's exactly what he wants you to think. While everybody else is out doing their normal day-to-day, going back and forth from school, jobs, work life, the normal everyday student stuff. This kid is secretly going out in the depths of night and kicking people up and down the street like it's his business to do so. But this just isn't enough for the kid. He cannot get any stronger than he currently is. He has passed all of his boundaries and he can't go any farther unless something different happens. So he decides to dive face first in the Isekai Truck-kun. For those of you familiar with anime, you know what I'm talking about. For those of you not familiar with anime, Truck-kun happens to be the truck that kills you and takes you to a new life. And because writers don't know how to power scale anymore, they just give them every power in the book and say it's okay. So every anime under the sun currently is running into this reoccurring problem of they have the max amount of power with no consequences. So you have to find a way in order to make the show interesting, which Eminence and Shadow successfully does. See, Shadow, or Sid Kagano, wants to be the best underground criminal as it is, but he's not trying to be a criminal. He's trying to be that special underground agent, that person who does all of the right by world, but is willing to take all of the wrong of the world for it. Basically, he wants to be Batman if Batman had to own up to all the people he's punched. But as good as this man is at planning, and as powerful as he is completely oblivious to everything going on around him. So time and time again, he completes his goals, successfully but unsuccessfully. Example, he completes the mission, gets the gold, but accidentally gives the gold to his company instead of putting it into his own pocket. Therefore, dude's always broke. Yet this oblivious state that he always finds himself in is what keeps this show entertaining. Because meanwhile, he's trying to look cool and dazzling while getting his gains and getting his money. While the company and underground association he created just assumes that he knows what he's doing and follows behind him and takes the plan and reaps the benefits of all of his wins. And because he wants to continue sounding cool and like he knew what he was doing the whole time, he just lets it happen. Which puts him back to stage one in trying to get money. Now, I told you earlier on that Sid Kagano is an overpowered person. All the way through this anime, he is showing that he is the most powerful person around. And every person he goes up against, he shows them up like they're nothing. And if they happen to annoy him in the process, he shows them that he's basically a walking nuclear bomb, and explodes several times throughout the series, taking out chunks of the city. Was that a spoiler? Probably not. Because this kid does it randomly, and it's not like you see it coming. It's just, oh, boom. And I guess that's what I like about this show so much. There is so much politics and so many things actually going on in the story behind the scenes that the main character is just oblivious to. Meanwhile, I'm following along in the story just to see what everybody else is getting up to behind the scenes leading up to this point. This anime manages to grab your attention by drawing your attention to the side characters instead of the main character themselves. They do a great job at storytelling all the way through it. The politics are great. The bad guys are evil. And somehow, this guy manages to get himself stuck in the center of it with not even meaning to every single time. And the idea that this guy just wants to be a background character throughout this whole story and is striving to be the best background character he can so he can keep himself incognito makes the story that much more interesting. There's whole scenes where this guy gets tortured or shot just because it would be the background character thing to do. and he spends every single day trying to get out or away from every main character that there is. Does it always work out? No, not really. Most often it doesn't. But that's where it shifts over to the secondary characters to bring you the rest of that story, to grab your attention, to suck you in to everything that's going on in the background while this dude is just chilling in a room waiting for everything to go down. And somehow that's just absolutely beautiful to me. I love it when a story does good storytelling. It's not just this big guy is the best at absolutely everything, and we're following him through everything to where he's just one-shotting this and one-shotting that and blowing this up. This guy is trying to keep himself undercover. Yeah, he is the strongest, but he doesn't want to show he's the strongest until it's time to show he's the strongest. Yes, he could just take out the whole city, but instead he wants to be the secret background character and pop in at just the right time, but doesn't want to give out his secret identity. I would be willing to go so far that it's almost like watching a mildly evil Superman. Is he the most powerful being in the universe? Yes. Does he want everybody to know what his secret identity is? No. So he takes his time to meticulously plan putting both of those worlds together, and there's 2 seasons of it, with rumor of a third. Now, do I hope there's a third? Yes, of course I hope there's a third. But if there's not a third, the 2nd season ends good enough that I am okay with it just ending there. That's not something you'll normally hear come from me. I get upset when there's 1 season of something and they leave every open end possible. This one did a real good job of closing the storybook, but still being able to open back up if they get cleared for a 3rd season. And that brings us right back around to that great storytelling. It's just, I love it when the good anime does stuff like this. Now, I know, whenever I do a review like this, I leave everything so utterly and completely vague. I throw you a bone here or there, but nothing that would get you too far out there into the story. But guys, trust me on this one. If you like isekai type anime, you love watching all the animes on all the different streaming services, and you're looking for something new to watch, pick up HI Dive, head over there, watch yourself Eminence and Shadow Season 1 and 2, and enjoy yourself an anime that has great storytelling. Now, I know that these reviews on anime are relatively short, and I know you're excited to see the next video game. But that's going to have to wait for next time you see us going on right here on Bad Habits. Bye!